Welcome, my wicked brothers and sisters. I will start with just putting up a small disclaimer right now, a small warning. This video will contain some storytelling elements. I will talk a little about my relationship with music and the life of festivals and venues, but I do believe a lot of you can relate in one way or another, and I have a point about this, so just bear with me for a little while. Now, let me first comment today's time-lapse video. It depicts Meraluna and its official logo. And what is Meraluna? It's an annual music festival in Germany. It's being held in Hildesheim, a city south of Hanover. The main focus is the so-called alternative music scene, like industrial metal, electronic body music, goth, dark wave and folk music. I went there the first time in 2013 and I was pleasantly surprised, especially since I had just started to embrace that particular music scene and because my previous experiences had only been to classic metal and rock festivals. But when I returned to Meraluna in 2016 and every year since, something happened. It became my annual commitment. This festival became my sanctuary, my piece of heaven, the place I could call home. That music scene makes me feel so alive, and it helps me to stay sane in an insane world, and helps me move forward when I could have crawled back from where I came. And that's what Meraluna represents to me, and that's why I wanted to make at least a small painting of it. It has become such an important part of my life, just like music in general has. Okay, the point I'm desperately trying to make here is an obvious one. Music has the ability to move your soul and your life. Of course, this is also the case when it comes to the process of creating art. But the question is, should you even use music? Well, the downside is that music can be a distraction. You're sitting down, you're in the middle of planning your next artistic masterpiece, but the music interrupts your flow. Those familiar lyrics from your favorite songs just drags you back in, forcing you to humming and singing and headbanging. You get emotionally invested in the tunes, and all of this would be fine and dandy, except you suddenly find yourself thinking less and less about your creativity. Counterproductive, that's the word. And then you look at the other side of the spectrum, the absolute power of it all. It can open a portal to new worlds and imagination that can elevate your next masterpiece. Suddenly, when you're sketching or even tries to begin the process, you feel that new ideas are coming like a flood. Maybe you even find out that humming or singing doesn't distract you, that you can hear the words but doesn't feel that they disturb you. And obviously there is also the third option, silence. Maybe you feel that you need the stillness to create your next masterpiece. No disturbing elements to interrupt you. Stillness that helps you concentrate. The power of Zen, I suppose. That's got its own particular power. For me personally, music is essentially the nectar of life. However, when I decide to strive for my next masterpiece, it depends totally on what part of the process I'm in. For example, when I'm just sketching and brainstorming, or sitting by the computer and searching for interesting reference pictures, it doesn't really matter what I listen to. I can consume any kind of music, any kind of lyrics, and it doesn't necessarily affect my working process. But when I'm starting to actually paint, it's another matter. Sometimes I have to obsessively map out in my head exactly how I want my color palettes or exactly what details I should add in what particular order. On those occasions, I need total focus without distractions. I need Zen. However, when I'm in a flow and actually want some tunes to highlight the experience, I still feel better with instrumental music. Like I said about lyrics, if I listen to an artist, I'm starting to concentrate on the words, or even worse, starting to sing along with it. So for me it's best to just have melodies in the background and let it melt together in my mind while my next masterpiece is starting to take shape. And that's the final secret of it all. Balance, fulfillment, not distraction. So start experimenting. Give music a chance. Give different kinds of tunes a chance. Give words a chance. Give silence a chance. It's your own artistic journey we're talking about, and just do whatever is necessary for you to dive deeper in your imagination and inspiration and talent. So, that was the end of my little rant. How do you work when you're creative? With music, words, or silence? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section, and if you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing to my channel as well. And I will end today's sermon with just saying, music is life, justice is balance, and fuck it, just create.